Something bad happened to Barron Trump not long ago. He is the son of one of the world's most famous people, but not much is known about his life. We can't get too close to him because his privacy is very well guarded. People are interested in why they don't know much about him, and why he hasn't been in the political press with his father while other Trump family members have been. Are you ready for some shocking news about Barron Trump? He is the youngest son of former President Donald Trump. Find out why the Trump family has kept their son hidden. Barron Trump has been away from the media for a while, which is sad. Let's take a look at his life and how he has changed. Many people were shocked when Barron Trump was born on March 20th, 2006, just a year after his parents, Donald and Melania Trump, got married. Trump's son Barron was born a year after his parents got married. Trump has 5 kids, but Melania only has 1 son. Barron was a quiet boy who spent most of his childhood in the White House, like many other political children. He had lived in Trump Tower in New York City before that. His floor had gold accents and fancy furniture. Still, Melania tried her best to give him a normal life. She then said that she was committed to helping the boy stay with him. Barron began school at the well-known Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in New York. Melania made sure that he did his chores and other activities like any other kid, even though he came from a wealthy and well-known family. Barron went on a class trip to Washington, D.C., with about 80 other students in his last year there. They saw the White House. Barron and Melania Trump stayed in New York until the end of the school year in 2017 after Donald became president. Barron began going to St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland that summer, and the family moved to the White House. It cost him almost $40,000 a year to go to St. Andrew's. Barron went to St. Andrew's instead of Sidwell Friends, which was the school choice for past first families. Donald said Barron didn't want to leave New York at first. Even though he liked his life in school in Virginia, going to Washington made a big difference in his way of life. Trump told them that his son went to a great school in New York and made a lot of friends there. He convinced Barron that moving would let him help other people like other kids like him, which made Barron happy. Donald thought his young son was smart, strong, and understood a lot. Getting involved in the presidential race was a big change in the lives of Donald and his family. The media and all the stresses that come with being in public were always there for Melania, Donald, and his older children. But Barron was still a child, and he might have done something bad for the campaign and the president. Melania wanted to keep him safe from these effects, which is why she chose to stay in New York with Barron after the election. Instead of going to the White House right away, she did not want to get in the way of Barron finishing his school year. Some people didn't agree with Melania's choice because they thought it would cost taxpayers more, because she and Barron would need more protection in New York. But Melania stood by her decision. She told Barron how important stability and regularity were during this time of change. Melania Trump continued to put her son first while Donald Trump was president. She was very involved with raising Barron and would often take time away from public jobs or work to spend time with him. Trump's other older children were more social, but Melania made sure that Barron didn't get too much attention or go on too many public events. What do you think about Barron's public appearances and the fact that they are very limited? Barron Trump, Donald Trump's 18-year-old son, has been getting most of the press lately. He is 6 feet 7 inches tall. Barron's father said that he likes soccer more than basketball, even though his huge size makes him look more like a basketball player. Barron is the biggest of Trump's kids. He's not even as tall as Donald. It says that his father is 6 feet 3 inches tall for some reason, but everyone agrees that Trump is no taller than 6 feet 2 inches. His mother, Melania Trump, was 5', and his stepbrothers Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. were 6'8" and 6'6". This only shows how tall he was compared to them. In February of this year, Trump had a meeting with his family from his campaign office in Des Moines, Iowa. During the call, he praised all of his children, including Brady. It was only half joking when Trump said that Barron was so tall because he only ate food made by his wife, Melania's mother, Amalia Nav. Trump had good things to say about Barron. He said he likes his son more as time goes on. Trump had hoped that Barron would play basketball because he is tall, but Barron is more interested in soccer. Trump said that Barron was one of his 5 favorite children. Donald Trump, Eric Trump, and Ivanka Trump are Barron Trump's older brothers. They were born to Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana Trump. In the years before the 2016 election, all 3 of them helped run the Trump Organization and set up talks for their father on national TV. As soon as Trump shocked everyone by winning the race, he put them on the transition team. Donald Jr. and Eric kept running the family real estate business after their father was sworn in. Ivanka, on the other hand, moved to Washington, D.C. with her husband, Jared Kushner, who was made a top advisor to President Trump. Tiffany Ariana Trump was born on October 13, 1993. Her father was George H.W. Bush, and her mother is Marla Maples, who was Trump's second wife. She barely left the house while her father ran for office in 2016 and while she studied sociology and urban studies at the University of Pennsylvania. As part of her graduation speech at the Republican National Convention, she did speak out for her father. This was right after she graduated at age 22. After that, Tiffany went to Georgetown University Law Center and got her law degree. She finished in May 2020. She has also spoken at the 2020 Republican National Convention and backed her father, among other live events for the effort. She also spoke out for him at Mar-a-Lago after his first arrest in 2023 to show her support. Based on information that is known to the public, Barron's mother, Melania Trump, might have been more talkative when she was modeling. As First Lady, she put spending time with her family ahead of going out with other people. She became very close with Donald's kids from his past relationships, saying that she sees herself more as a friend than a mother. Melania had been a part of their lives since they were teenagers. She went to both of their high school and college graduations, which shows that she has known them for a long time. Barron got an uncle when he was a little kid. Carolina Trump and Kai Trump are his nieces. Kai is only a year younger than him. The following people are his nephews Tristan Trump, Spencer Trump, Joseph Kushner, Theodore Kushner, and Eric Trump. Barron is often called a special child in raising and presented Melania with problems that no one could have seen coming. A lot of people who are part of the Mar-a-Lago Club and are friendly with Melania Trump do not know her very well. Not many of the time does she join in talks or social events. Her family has always come first, especially her duty as a loving mother to Barron and her promise to keep him safe. She has done things this way for a long time. Sources say that Barron is shy and quiet, and Melania has always taken great care of him. Along with her charity work, she spends a lot of time on her family and makes sure they are healthy. Barron learned English and Slovene, which is his mother's main language, as he grew up. He learned to speak both very well and also some French. He called his grandmother a lot as a child and spoke to her only in Slovene. Melania Trump told him to learn more than one language, but she and Donald Trump both agreed that Barron should only speak English in public. Melania once said that learning more than one language is good, but it's necessary to know English in the United States. Barron hasn't been seen in public very often, for short periods of time, and under tight control. This has made people more interested in his life and personality. Even though his family gets a lot of attention from the media, Barron has had more privacy than most kids his age, thanks to his parents' hard work, especially Melania's. Melania has put a lot of emphasis on education and how important it is to have a good academic background. Barron's schooling has been focused on academic success and humility, which is different from the schooling of many famous kids. Barron made a few public appearances during Donald Trump's leadership that stood out. For example, he stood with his family at the 2017 inauguration. Barron was the youngest member of the first family, and his solemn behavior at the event made him stand out. A picture of him with his parents and brothers became famous, but sometimes the media's guesses about Barron's personality have gone too far, with some places making assumptions that aren't true. Someone in the media once said that Barron's behavior at a public event made them think about his mental health. Melania quickly spoke out in defense of her son and asked the media to give him some space. Even though Barron had a chance to become famous, something sad happened next. Once Donald Trump was no longer president in 2021, Barron went to Oxbridge Academy in Palm Beach, Florida, and was in the class of 2024. At age 18, Barron had doubts about whether to keep going to high school, get a job, or work for the government. He was picked to represent Florida at the Republican National Convention in May 2024, which could mean he was interested in politics. But later, Melania said that Barron turned down the offer because he had other plans. Many people who backed the Trump family agreed with Barron's choice. They thought it was smart because it would help him keep his privacy and focus on his own growth. They think he should make his own decisions now that he is 18, especially since his family has been in the news a lot. But some people didn't agree with his choice, saying that it could mean he doesn't know what he wants to do or doesn't want to follow in his father's political footsteps. Few think Barron's choice means he wants to live a more normal life, away from politics for now. This could mean he wants to make his own name for himself, away from the political and public stresses his family has been under. Some people think that his parents, especially Melania, had something to do with his choice. Melania has always been very careful about Barron's safety. It's possible that she told him to focus on his schooling and growth as a young man instead of the formal duties he would have later on. Barron has only known about private life since he was a child. Writing about his fate may be his way of coming out on his own. Melania had been through the ups and downs of life as a model, especially when she was married to a famous person and a businessman. It is important to know that they chose to focus on Barron's and a normal, happy childhood instead of any benefits that came with having a good public image. This was clear from the way she managed his early schooling and his trips, making sure no one knew who he was. From his time as a delegate at the Republican National Convention, the young man could have used what he learned to make a name for himself in the public and political spheres. There are duties that come with being a delegate for a certain group. It's not just an honorary job. During their functions, delegates speak for their state, vote for the party's presidential candidate, and take part in talks about the party's agenda. If Barron had taken this job, he would have been putting himself out in the open and getting attention, which was something he had tried to avoid his whole life. One reason for this method could be the strange way the Trump family interacts with the public. Unlike Kennedy or Bush, who came from wealthy political families, Trump's rise to power was not based on politics but on business and entertainment. They wanted to make sure that people had a good impression of them in public places because of their background. Barron has had to walk a very fine line between what it means to be part of the first family and his need and desire to keep his personal life private. Barron is becoming more like Melania, which can be seen by the fact that he isn't on social media. Trump's older children are very busy on social media sites like Twitter and Instagram, where they talk about their lives and the president's policies. Barron, on the other hand, is not known to have any accounts on these sites. Melania probably made this choice because she wants to keep him safe from the bad things in the world, especially now that we live in a technology age. Barron Trump doesn't have any social media accounts on sites like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, Discord, or YouTube. Twitter is the only place where there are posts that link to him. Barron doesn't usually post about his personal life or views on social media, but his mother Melania Trump, who used to be First Lady, has posted photos of Barron and heartfelt posts about being a mom on her accounts. Melissa has sent out many tweets with pictures of Barron as a child, doing things like playing on the beach, golfing at his dad's courses, and spending time with his family. She linked the @Barron Trump account, which has over 22,700 followers from 2012 to 2015. As of September 30, 2024, it only follows her and doesn't have a bio pic, tweets, or personal picture. It only shows Barron's name, @Barron Trump, and that he joined Twitter when he was 6 years old in August 2012. As Barron turns 18, a lot of people are wondering what will happen to him and whether he will stay out of the public eye. There will be pressure on Barron from the people, the media, and political experts no matter what. There are a lot of huge risks and chances, and what he does will affect not only his future and the future of his family, but also the history of the Trump family. Barron is still pretty young, so he can bring fresh ideas to any project, whether it's in business, politics, or something else. It will be interesting to see how he uses this ability in the future. The New York Post reported that Barron's father said he was going to college in New York, but he didn't say which one. The former president said that the name of the university would be announced soon by his team. In an interview with Fox News, Melania said that Barron had considered going to school in New York and living in the family's skyscraper in Manhattan. She told him that moving to the city was his choice because he wanted to study and live there, and she agreed with him completely. She said Barron was great and was proud of how mature he was. She also said that his strength, intelligence, understanding, and kindness were amazing. Donald Trump said that Barron chose to go to New York University on his own. The Stern School of Business at NYU recently accepted Barron as a new student. Barron said that he had gotten acceptance letters from other schools but chose Stern Business School at NYU instead. Trump said nice things about NYU and said he had heard about it for a long time and thought it was a great school. He also said that Barron hasn't picked out any hobbies outside of school yet. Stern Spotlight is an event where students can join clubs and groups at the beginning of the school year. Barron did not go. During his first week of college, he didn't go to the students or welcome parties, which made it seem like his college experience was different. With a group of security cars following behind, Barron has had to say no to classmates' requests for selfies. Some students have tried to talk to him and take pictures with him, but he has been quiet in class. Because Barron is there, security staff have been stationed at the school gate to check IDs of all the students. This has caused long lines outside. Even so, his peers have shown that they care about his well-being and privacy and wish him the best. Barron Trump is the youngest of Donald Trump's 5 children. That makes him less well-known than his brothers, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, and Tiffany, especially when their father was president. The Trump children are now adults and are involved in their father's business and political activities. Their public appearances and comments always get a lot of attention. Barron, on the other hand, has been kept out of the public eye by his mother, who wants to stay out of the press. Barron kindly offered to walk Patrick Bet-David and his team to their car during a talk with Ryan Garcia. Even though he was the son of a president and a billionaire, he politely insisted on being a good customer service rep by making sure they got out of the place safely. Barron said he and his brothers will never be able to compare to their hardworking and poor father, no matter how successful or wealthy they are. Even though he is only 18, it is admirable that he can see how easy and comfortable their lives are compared to his father's.